Flashback.
I think I can't take this. I think it's too big.
We love those rides.
End of flashback.
You understand where you're coming from. It's really nerve-wracking what we're doing, and the room's vibe is really heavy, and I'm pretty sure the rest of the people in the room as well is feeling that vibe. But I'm pretty sure that the people who's watching us right now do understand that what we're doing is something that's really serious, and it's a lot. So let me ask you a question, Mr. T. Your ethnicity is mixed, right?
Yes, my mom is Filipino, my dad is Portuguese.
Yeah, tell us a little more about that.
All I know is my mom is from the Philippines, my dad is from Brazil. I was born and raised in San Francisco. Never really learned my life beyond what I know. I, however, identify as a Filipino.
Yes, there's a really discernible voice in the audio saying that it's too big. But yeah, before we get to that though, what made you want to send me that audio way back March?
Well, I saw your video when it first blew up and thought the story seemed like a very familiar one. So I started going down this rabbit hole and realized you were talking about a high-profile couple that I had encountered in a private sex party. That is why I reached out.
Right, Vince would know who we are talking about. We are talking about Bangag and Lisa Tanas, right? Okay, please continue.
So, yeah, I realized you were talking about them and had seen how the media in the Philippines was deliberately not covering the story and how their supporters were saying you were spreading fake news. I just knew I had to reach to you to let you know that I believe you, such that I've been an active participant on one of their parties.
I really do appreciate you for reaching out to me first. I know that must have taken a lot of courage to muster up that kind of courage to actually message me first about that audio. Now, Mr. T, can you please take me back to how you have gotten into this deal with them?
Okay, I remember it was towards the end of November 2023. During the San Francisco Festival of Light, I got a text message from one of my guy friends that a couple was looking for a second guy to attend a private party. I immediately knew what they were looking for. I remember they were having a hard time finding the guys because the guys needed to sign an NDA.
An NDA, a non-disclosure agreement, right?
Yes, you guys don't want to deal with that kind of drama. I asked my guy friend if we're going to be compensated. And he said yes. I told him I was down for it.
Wow. Okay. Take us to when you first got to meet them.
I pulled up to the location they sent me, led me to a luxury hotel, Fairmont. I was greeted by a security. I introduced myself, to which after they immediately had me sign the NDA, they led me to a room a few floors up. I didn't really know what to expect. The moment they opened the door, I had a whiff of a very strong smell that was familiar to me. That's when I saw all two guys. One of the guys welcomed me in and said, "Welcome to the party, but it's not really a party until the sausage is out."
And so that's when you started recording the audio.
It's not actually just an audio. It's a splice of an audio recording from a long video of the meetup that I recorded from my pocket.
Okay, so when you got into the room, what was happening in the room and what led him into saying that it's too big?
They were hours in the party already. I got in late. The other guy had to leave. It was only just the three of us that were left. We played around a little bit. Then that's when the lady asked me to put it in again. I didn't really know why he said it's too big. When I've been doing that to him the entire night.
Wow, I can't imagine. Did you at least use protection?
I used protection the entire time. I tried to take it off at some point, but I said no. And yeah, I arrived for the fourth time, and that's when I had to tap out.
Okay, hold on. That was a lot. Okay, give me a second. All right. Oh, what am I seeing here?
That is me lying on the bed, telling them I was booking it over to head out. She told me I don't have to and that someone will take me home. But I insisted on booking it over.
To the camera.
That's him playing with my thing while I was waiting for my Uber.
Okay, we need to stop for a second. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that we had to cut that off for a minute. That was actually a lot. I'm an entire hour of just talking about that. It's just too much. I'm not entirely sure if we should actually go through with the live, but I still have one more question though. Since we're already here in front of everyone else here in the room, let me ask you, Mr. T. Let me ask you, Mr. T. Why come to Dean Chase?
Dean, I reached out to you because when I saw your video, the story immediately felt familiar. You weren't exaggerating or sensationalizing it. You were asking the right questions about something the Philippine media was clearly avoiding at the time. When I saw people attacking you and calling it fake news way back March, I knew you were telling the truth. Because I was there. I was literally part of one of the budget parties you were exposing. I chose to come forward not because I want attention and not because this is easy. It's honestly terrifying because staying silent would make me complicit. Watching the story get buried and seeing you take all the heat for speaking up pushed me to reach out. I wanted you to know that you weren't alone and that what you were saying resonated so much to me. Choosing to remain anonymous because my safety matters, but I'm doing this publicly because the true story get buried and seeing you take all the heat for speaking up pushed me to reach out. I wanted you to know that you weren't alone and that what you were saying resonated so much to me. Choosing to remain anonymous because my safety matters, but I'm doing this publicly because the truth matters more. This isn't about me. It's about accountability and about letting people know that what's being dismissed as lies actually happened.
That was really beautiful. Thank you so much for trusting me as well. I know that it must have not been easy for you to answer all these questions, and I know that you have made a lot of changes on your terms and conditions and how. Magandang araw po sa ating lahat. Dean Chase here, and I know that I have not posted in a couple of weeks. We are just trying to keep ourselves safe in the past few days. I know that I have posted a couple of weeks ago that we were supposed to do a live interview with Mr. T. That's the code name of Mr. TUBIG. That's the name that we have actually agreed upon na gagamitin namin sana sa live interview namin. We have made a lot of changes because he's made a lot of changes in his terms and conditions as well on how to do the logistics with the interview. And what's been happening this couple of days had actually dropped the bomb on how to move forward. Kasi po, a couple of weeks ago before Mr. T actually arrived here, when we started talking about the possibility of doing a live interview, tell all on what had happened on one of the sex parties that, you know, Lisa Tanas and Bangag had actually done. And we were lucky enough to have gotten in touch with one of the attendees of those parties. And yun na nga, gusto sana namin mag-live interview, pero when I told him about the break-in na nangyari before he arrived here in Los Angeles, I'm going to show you the picture. Someone had actually broken into the penthouse unit, and nireport na namin ito sa police, and we have already reported to the landlord, but we have not actually linked it to what's been happening and of course what I've been doing on the internet as well, because we really don't want that kind of attention for now. But we have already reported it to the police, and yun na nga, medyo natakot siya. And only recently, in the past few weeks, that we've been trying to figure out the logistics of the interview that we were supposed to do. Mr. T had actually realized that the thing that we are doing is really heavy. Yung una, akala lang talaga niya na, okay, yeah, we're going to do an interview, and then that's it. When we were talking about the logistics, and yun na nga, parang na-realize niya na ang bigat po talaga ng gagawin namin. There's going to be a lot that will be placed on the line. Not only for me, but for him as well, especially. Kasi he's the one who's actually going to tell everything, and he of course signed an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement, before he actually went to one of these sex parties. And yun na nga, takot na takot siya, and he got paid of course, pero yun na nga, na-realize niya na he will be putting his life on the line, not only his life but actually his family's life on the line as well. And it had gotten so heavy until mas na-realize niya na nakakatakot na pala talaga itong ginagawa namin, because last Tuesday, someone had again broken into our unit, our penthouse unit. Luckily, we weren't there in the unit because we were actually visiting his friends, because aside from the interview, we were enjoying some company, and I have met some of his friends in West Hollywood. Yun na nga po, we were so lucky that we weren't there at the unit, and we reported it again, of course, to the landlord and the police. And only recently, as what Maharlik had actually said, I told her about this, and she gave us some tips on how to report it to the FBI, and we have talked about it with Mr. T. As a matter of fact, I have discussed with him the possibility of meeting up with Maharlika because we really don't know how to move forward after this whole situation, kasi may pinatay po sa building namin. May na-murder po sa building po namin, and the person that got murdered is an Asian person, is an Asian guy who looks exactly like me, kalbo, may bigote. And do we believe that it's a mistaken identity? Absolutely. We absolutely do think that it was a mistaken identity. Baka akala nila ako yun. I'm sorry, I'm really shaken up. And we are actively trying to find a temporary place to stay for the time being while we are trying to figure out on how to move or where to move. As a matter of fact, we really don't know. For now, Mr. T is really scared, and yun na nga po, nireport na namin sa FBI, the forensics were there, and it was ruled as burglary. Pero ang nakakatakot nga po kasi last Tuesday, wala naman pong nawala sa building po namin, sa unit po namin wala pong nawala. And so, sa room din po nung pinatay po, wala pong nawala lang po sa room niya. It was just plain murder. But they said that it was probably burglary. So we really wanted to, Maharlika actually told us to tell the FBI what's going on, but Mr. T, he doesn't want to do anything with a murder case, and as a matter of fact, takot po siya sa mga nangyayari these past few days. And yeah, that's what's been happening. For now, we are safe, but it's a lot. A lot has been happening po, lalo na po nung pagkamatay ni Miss Cabral. We think that they are really trying to do a major cleanup po sa image ni Bangag and ni Satanas. What we can do for now is I'm going to show you a couple of clips from the interview. I will be changing Mr. T's voice in the interview as well as he requested. Just a couple of clips from a couple of questions that I have thrown in the director's cut, which he has already approved as well. So yeah. This is the kind of government that we are dealing with. And I hope everyone realizes that they are trying to silence people who are trying to speak against their evil doing, and God save the Philippines.